Welcome back, y'all. So again, I told you that we were going to go over my process of how I flock decoys. So what I've already started it to a process. Just explain it to you. First thing you need to do, get a power washer, something, and just kind of wash off the excess paint that's chipping off, old paint, stuff like that. Also get off all that dirt and grime. You want to get down to bare plastic as much as you possibly can, except for, if you need to, take a nice, bristle brush and just kind of brush a little bit. Try to get as much as you can off that. Not going to be the biggest thing if you miss that brushing step, but just power wash it. And then just kind of let it dry. Just, give it an hour, whatever, out in the sun, let it dry. So now here's the process of where I go from here. Mineral spirits. That's what I do. So what I'm going to try to do now is I'm going to try to go ahead and just take off all that oil and grease that's left behind. So what I typically like to do is obviously glove up as well. So we'll get this nice and coated here. The decoy that I chose on this one is just an older, it's a late season GHG pro grade. Just older ones that I've had. Late season, kind of got a little bit of green coming in on the head there. Early season, whatever you want to do. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to wipe it all down. Just trying to just get all the grease and whatever leftovers behind. I like to separate. If you have separated heads, it's a lot easier to flock process. If it's a one piece, it's not too hard. You just got to be cautious of how you're doing it. Body wise, same thing. Just gonna wipe that down. That's, again, make sure you wash it real good. Just a power washer, just a hose. Just kind of get a good hose off it. Get a lot of that old stuff, and I've had pretty good success here with some of the decoys that I've done. So anyway, so there's that. I mean, you can still see that there's quite a bit of just gunk that still comes off it, even though the washer doesn't get. All right, next step. Get a good primer. I like the old 1, 2, 3 bullseye primer. Sticks to any surface. Self-etching primer. Those all work great. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to hit it. Nice, good, even coat. Nice, good, even coat. Give your new paint and flocking, give it all a great spot. All about prep work is what it's all going to be now at this point. So I'm going to put that off to the side here. I'll grab the head. Some people like to put a little bit of tape right over the eyes. I'm not a big fan of it. I'm just going to paint the eyes anyway. But what I typically like to do is I just like to put my fingers over them. So whatever little overspray I do get, it's all going to be all painted all over again. So this isn't something I'm too worried about on the eyeballs. But just a nice even coat. I also like to put either an eyelet or just a screw in the bottom of the head, something that I could just stick in the vise. I like to put it in the vise, something that's going to be a little bit more just safe, if that makes sense. Something that just paints off of easy, and it holds it fine. So there you go. Blooper. There you go. Perfect. Not even gonna edit that out. It happens. So, with that being said, we'll just go ahead and do this all over again. So, you know, things happen sometimes, right? Can't say that I've ever had that happen, but, you know, I guess when you start getting, you know, in front of the camera, you get a little camera shy. So, what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm just going to go ahead and dump some of this on there, kind of clean this up a little bit, get a nice fresh rag here, wipe off, try to get back all that. I just got a little sand on it from the driveway. Not a big deal. Not a big deal at all. But we'll just start all fresh here. All right, try that all over again. Here we go. So we're just going to go ahead and paint it again. Nice even coat. And there you go. So head, I just went ahead and just said screw it, I'll just go ahead and paint over the eyes anyway. We'll just give a new little gloss look on the eyeballs when we get to the point of finishing it out. Next video, we'll give this a little bit here. Next video will come in, we'll start with painting the bill. I like to paint the bill first. That way, you know, that overspray from the bill color will not get onto the flocking. So we'll get the bill painted. Once that dries, we'll come back, we'll do that. Actually, you know what, I'll even do the body flocking on the body by the time we go ahead and do this. So we'll get a little bit of everything going. All right, guys, so I'm gonna go ahead and paint the bill, and then I'm gonna go ahead and get a coat of flocking while the bill dries overnight. We'll come back, we'll get some flocking on the head, get another coat on the body. I always like to do 2 coats of flocking. We'll revisit that when it comes. But here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead, and what I like to use is I like to use Createx Wicked Colors. This is going to be the Wicked Colors Golden Yellow. It's pretty much a dead ringer for Drake Mallards. That's what I'm going to do this duck as, is just a mallard. So here we go. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and kind of just spray a little, just straight air, no paint, nothing, just straight air, just kind of trying to just get it to dry a little bit there. So there's just the bill. What I like to spray the bill first, because just that overspray of the yellow, you know, the paint that we're going to use to adhere the flocking is going to go ahead and get covered up. So that's kind of the reason there why I like to spray the bill first. We'll cover the bill up and we'll go over all that process later. So the next part that I like to do is going to be what I call the decoy body. What it is it's 2 parts gloss white to 1 part gloss smoke gray. That's all going to be in the Rust-Oleum enamels. So that's what I like to do on that. Get it nice and mixed up. It's been a while since I've actually gotten to a body here to redo. this. Your first coat usually always goes a lot quicker. The second coat takes a lot more paint, takes more time because it's going to adhere, and that flocking is going to soak up a lot of the excess paint that you're putting on. So it takes a little bit longer for the second flock, or the second coat of the flocking. Alright, let me grab my flocking tin or box. And all right, here we go. And I'm just using some cheap, Harbor Freight 1-inch. You can get a pack of them for a couple bucks. Nothing too fancy. I mean, I just cut them down just so I can spread and get a better, just get a better little paint, push on these. So, and also your base flocking, if you wanted to, you could do just straight gloss whites. And everyone's probably going to be thinking, why is he using gloss? You will never, this thing won't even shine by the time we get all the flocking on. And this is just the way I learned, was, just doing, just gloss. I was always told, use gloss when you're flocking. And I'm assuming it has something to do with paint adhesion, with the flocking. It just, honestly, I haven't had anything really chipping off yet, so that's a good thing. But I mean, we're just gonna get it in there and work it around. I'm not trying to get globs of it. I'm just trying to work the excess, but make it wet enough that things will adhere to it. Work the tail over here. And you're just trying to get a good even coat on this. Nothing, like I said, I mean, you don't want to have it gloppy, goopy. Just an even coat that's just going to look wet, just so you can get a good adherence. Alright, go ahead and put that back in, start getting that cleaned up for the next paint. Alright, so this part, I always recommend a respirator, a face mask of some sort. This flocking is just nasty. You'll have a little bit of some floaters that get in, and you do not want to ingest this. You only get one set of lungs, so here we go. But you may not hear me well, but I'll try to explain what I'm doing. Just a little sifter, just a cheap little sifter is what I use. And then I just go ahead and just kind of throw it around. Just kind of shake off the sides a little bit. That way you can do a little bit more. And we're just going to try to get all the little angles here. I'm just going to go back this way, and then I'll go back through the other way. Just shake off the excess. Like whatever that was, little piece of fuzz or something. Alright, so that's coat number 1. Do a little bit more here real quick. Just get a good, make sure we get a good coating back here on those primaries. And we'll do a little bit on the back here. Alright. Coat number 1. So we'll just go ahead. I'm just gonna go ahead and do the head. We'll just do it in black. These are just some of the ones my buddy had that I came over. We did. So I'm gonna do it in black flocking. They will start coming out just looking like a Drake Mallard head. Black flocking is the best way to go about it, in my opinion. Let me go ahead and get this brush cleaned out a little bit here. Get some gloss black here shaken up. And I'm just going to pull out just a little small, just again, another cheap brush, Harbor Freight. Just get the cheapos. Because if you need to throw them away, just toss them. It's really not worth your time to really keep cleaning them. I just kind of throw them in some mineral spirits when I'm done. Just clean them out a little bit. On we go. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and use this brush to kind of go around the bill. So that way I don't have to really go too crazy, but it's already dry enough to the touch. So here we go. Again, just gloss black. Nothing too crazy. Again, it's probably throwing a little bit of some of you for a little loop here when I say gloss black, because hunters, decoys, stuff like that, we don't want gloss. We don't want anything shiny, but the flocking really will take everything down. and you'll never even see the gloss part of it. So alright, done with that brush. We'll just go ahead and finish her out with the bigger brush, and that way we'll be able to get this done a little quicker. And to me, this is just fun. I mean, taking pride in your own decoys, being able to gun over some of the ones that you've actually painted, and, you know, save some money as well. I mean, it's not like you're, you know, they have to look 100% real. I mean, the more you do it, the better you get. My first ones weren't really the greatest, but you know, it's just a fun little project. Off season usually keeps you got something to go on, you know, rather than just sitting there wishing you were shooting ducks, or, you know, the camaraderie going on in the duck blind. So nothing too bad. I mean, it's just little blood, sweat, and tears. Not really blood, but, you know, it's still fun to make your decoys your own. And not every duck, you know, looks the same, and that's why it's kind of fun to also just kind of do little things and experiment. And it's like, you know, some people just don't even paint the eyes, and I don't know, I think it's just there for personal preference. If you want to see the eyes, I mean, the ducks, if they get close enough to see the eyes, they should be dead. So, especially if they're that close, they're backpedaling. So you guys should be big boom 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 pow on those things. So, all right, let's get some black flocking here. Cover up my disaster mess here of paint. Make sure my flocking doesn't get all in the paint. Not a big deal if it does. Just buy a new little one. But we're just gonna go ahead and coat it in black. Alright, so then there's just your black head. What I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm just going to go ahead and let these dry overnight, 24 hours roughly. We'll come back tomorrow and we'll do a second application, and then we will show you the second step, where what we'll do is we'll go ahead and start airbrushing it and making it start looking more like a decoy and laying that all out. So see you guys here in a bit.